Welcome back to another episode of Seen and Heard podcast. And I'm here today with my co host, Miss Candace Henry. Hello, Miss Candace.
Peace and positive vibrations.
One, two, three, four.
How's your weekend? And we're going to tell us what we're going to open up with.
Wow. So much has happened. I'm not sure. I don't want to be saddened by talking about the State of the Union first. So I kind of think we should talk about what's going on in the Texas Senate race first. That's really that has become a hot topic. And I think we should talk about it because, as you know, the state of Texas did some redistricting. They redrew their lines. So when they did that, they actually drew Jasmine Crockett out of her district. And Al Green has now been included in the congressional district with Chris Menifee, who was the person who has the seat that the late Sheila Jackson Lee and the late Sylvester Turner sat in. So now that's a primary campaign between two Black men from Texas, Al Green and Chris Menifee. And as you know, if you don't, you're like you Stevie Wonder can see. What they did was they intentionally redrew the districts so that they eliminated as many people of color, persons of color, as they possibly could from being in congressional districts, or they pitted them against each other, i.e., now Al Green is running against Chris Menifee and Jasmine Crockett. They drew the district so that there was no way she could run in her district. So now Jasmine is in the Senate race, and that has become a very, very interesting turn of events because the person she's running against had a lot of money in his war chest. He's had $5, $6, $7 million in his war chest. Jasmine does not have that kind of money in her war chest. And it did not look as if he was going to lodge a strong campaign, and I cannot pronounce his last name. Tracolio, Tracariglio. And the other day, there were some interviews asking folk who they were going to vote for. And here we go again with another one of those purple situations. You know, it's not red, it's not blue. The blues were like, I really, 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 really love Jasmine. She tells it like it is, and she's for the people, and I just love her, but I'm not voting for her. I'm voting for Treco, whatever his name is. Please forgive me. I don't like messing up people's names. Y'all know who she's running against, because he's the only one who can win. She can't win in Texas, but he can win. So that's the one I'm voting for. What does that do? Every time we think we're advancing, then something flips from blue to purple. And same thing happened in 2024. The same thing continues to happen over and over. You have all of these Euro-American women who go around professing to be blue, and then all of a sudden, we know they come from red households and red states and red congressional districts, but they swear that they are women, hear them roar, and therefore they are blue, and then all of a sudden they become purple. Well, I really do love Jasmine Crockett. She just tells it the way it is, but I can't vote for her. I just can't. I'm voting for him. So yes, that dude right there. Tallarico. Okay, I came close.
Yeah,
Um,
Tallarico.
mhm. So until we actually just get honest with ourselves, if you read, you read. If you are Euro-American and everybody in your eyesight has to be of Euro-American persuasion, then just say it. Don't come out with your phoniness talking about, I just love Jasmine Crockett. Oh, she's just so wonderful, but I'm not voting for her. That's all I have to say about this.
I was so ready to vote for Jasmine Crockett because I love her, but I voted for Tallarico because we need somebody who can win.
I saw that video that you're talking about, I believe, with the white lady that was crying. I was trying to pull it up, but I couldn't find it. But yes, just kind of infuriating. It's like you said in the beginning, here we go again. And I've heard a
Mm-hmm.
lot of different people say that Tallarico also could be a sleeper, kind of like Fetterman was, running Democrat and then voting down uh, along with the Republicans. And
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm sick of, honestly, just to be honest, I'm sick of seeing um, white men in charge of everything, because of that is what we all woke up to this morning, to a war, a senseless war, and the guy, Miller drunk guy, I just got a
Head
brain
self.
fart.
Head self.
There's nothing supreme about us. They are not supreme. They like with supremacists. There's nothing supreme about them. And the one thing I appreciate out of all of this is that they've shown the world that white people are not the supreme, because this is a regime full of didn't earn it. Since they like the acronym DEI, did not earn it.
I like that. So who created the mantra that they are smart and we are dumb? They did. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because they recognized that if the truth came out about not just who we are today, but who we were centuries ago, when they landed on the continent, they're the ones who dubbed it as the dark continent, because they had to come back and tell manufactured lies. It's a dark continent. Everybody over there runs around naked. They don't have no clothes on. Let me tell you something. If they wanted to be over there naked, it's a hot, hot, hot climate over there. So as long as they were comfortable with their nakedness, who are you to go over there and tell them that they're living in sin and they have to, put on all these clothes? Otherwise, we're going to have to go back and talk about your nakedness. And in the book, King Leopold II's Ghost, they were coming back to this country telling the lies that gorillas, ape hangers, that they were raping. They were walking around in the jungle looking for women so that they could rape them. Does that sound like anything that makes sense? I mean, some gorilla, because mostly those, first of all, as big as they are, they're ginormous. And they're going to snatch some woman up. And the implication was, don't have your Euro-American women over there by themselves on the dark continent, because the gorillas and the apes and the orangutans and whomever all else just hungry, just thirsty for your Euro-American women, whatever, European women, whatever. So they're the ones who create these lies. And then what do? They bring us here not able to speak the language, and then they refuse to educate us so that we can communicate so that they then turn us into, as my Nana would say, may she rest in peace and power, butts of jokes. Listen at them, because we're over here trying to figure this stuff out. Sure, we're saying that and this and all of those things because we have not mastered this foreign language. Where we came from, there were thousands of tongues and thousands of languages, and they bring us here and drop us down and say, "Oh, you're dumb, you're idiot, you're stupid because you can't communicate with us." Who's stupid?
And I wanted to this picture here. I was actually looking for of the other guy, the brown guy that is over DOJ that was hanging out with the hockey team, but it's a picture of Hegseth.
Cash Patel.
Cash
It's
Patel.
Cash Patel
Yes,
in the
I'll
beer
pull
party.
Yes. Well, this
Cash
is
Patel
another
in the beer
picture.
party.
Yeah. So this is Hegseth, and this is on the let's see.
And he's a liar. He
Fox
said
News.
He don't drink. Look at him taking a swig from the champagne bottle. He can't even pour it in a flute.
And not only that, him leaking our secrets, military secrets, on a signal chat that's unsecured. They did that. There's nothing supreme about, there's nothing comforting about someone like that is in charge of our military. And then we, like I said, what we all do today, he wake up on the wrong side of the bed, and then it's like, oh, let's go ahead and bomb another country. So it's like
it's not let's bomb. It's not just bomb another country. They have a hit list of countries. Once they take care of all those countries, the three of them will declare that they rule the world. And the longer we sit on the sideline, the more that has the propensity to happen. Because look at it. Iran was maybe able to fight back. They killed the Ayatollah. They bombed Tel Aviv. And one of the things they love to do, when they go in, they already know where the schools are. They bomb all the schools because, yet again, just like they did with our ancestors, no, you cannot learn to read, you cannot learn to write, and you better darn well not learn how to count. So look at what they did in Palestine. With the Palestinians, bombed every single school and every single hospital. Because nobody can be smart except us. And we know how dumb we are. So if nobody else is out there to challenge us, then we really look like we're smart. And what did they do? They bombed schools and killed, I don't know, the news says it's only about 80 children. I don't believe that, but that's okay. Yeah, look at
last
him.
I checked,
Taxpayer dollars. Taxpayer dollars. He over there swigging beers and jumping up and down like he a bloody college student in the locker room swigging beers. Everybody ought to be mad about it.
Yeah, it's just, and then the excuses. Well, we don't have to get into that because everybody knows that they're full of misogynistic men. The NHL and Cash Patel, he was there. They don't. And but the thing is, they don't have to make excuses for this anymore. They don't have to hide it. The whole world is looking at this. And all I have to say to the world is Black people have nothing to do with this.
All I have to say to the world is Black people do have something to do with this because we're sitting on the sideline waiting for somebody to materialize and declare that they are our leader. We don't have no leaders. We don't have nobody to tell us what to do. We don't have nobody to tell us where to go and what to say when we get there. I sure wish Barack Obama would start telling us what to do. What is wrong with us? Is there something wrong with us? We can do this on our own. I agree with that. And
I agree with that. All we have is each other.
oh my God, thank you. That's all we have is each other. We have nothing else but each other. And when Cash Patel got, courtesy of taxpayer dollars, goes and swigs beer and jumps up and down as if he's a 19-year-old student on some college campus. That's what they're supposed to do. 19 years old on college campus, they're supposed to jump up and down in the locker room and swig beer and party. He is not 19. He is not a student on some college campus. This dude is supposed to be one of the main seated officials in the cabin, in the POTUS's cabin. That's where that's where he's supposed to be. And he over there swinging beer.
While he was doing that, he was supposed to be in cabinet meetings about the negotiations that they were supposed to be having between Iran before this happened today or last night or whenever it dropped the bombs. He was, while he's drinking and hanging out, like you said, like a frat boy, he was supposed to be in negotiations.
And here's the worst part of it. I'm going to get personal. I have people that I work with in Louisiana, the great state where the Speaker of the House hails from, who get $23 a month in SNAP benefits. And back when they were furloughed, the thing that was the end thing to say was, well, we're going to give them half of their benefits. How are you going to give somebody $11.50 in benefits and allow this fool to go over there at the expense of taxpayers and swig beer as if he's a frat boy, like you said? And then I got people, elderly people and young people who are trying to live on $11.50 a month. And don't tell me that they were lazy and should have done better. They live in those areas where the main source of employment was and often continues to be working in the orchards, working in the sugarcane fields. A lot of them have been residents of the area that became Cancer Alley. So a lot of them are disabled. They cannot work. And they get $23 a month in SNAP benefits. And they're talking about, oh, we'll just give them 50% of it. 50% of what? That's $11.50. And it angers me to see him dressed that way, acting like he a frat boy. Thank you for saying he a frat boy. I like that.
That's what they look like. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like you said, our dollars, we're watching them waste all this money. We have no recourse. We have I mean, people could call, like I said, all your representatives, but they're not answering, they're not responding. They're just, stoic reactions or firmly worded tweets that don't mean anything, that they're telling us what we already know, but we don't have the power, obviously. Well, we do have power, but people are not realizing that power, because if we reverted back to the lockdown when nobody was coming out of the house, except for necessities or whatever, the CEOs and these executives were frantic. They were like contacting all of these politicians saying, we have to open up the country. We have to open up the country because nobody's spending any money. And that's what opened up the country. We need to revert back to COVID.
Well, I don't want to go back to COVID, that's for sure. But
well, no, I'm not saying back to COVID. I'm saying like back to where nobody came out.
So, and you're absolutely correct, because I suspect now, because the Ayatollah has been taken out and his immediate surrounding network, ouch, no, and
Mhm.
his immediate surrounding network, now that's a perfect opportunity to do exactly what they did in Venezuela. And that was, we can now declare who's in charge. And who do you think they're going to put in charge? Somebody from Israel. Of course. I'm telling you, the plan is that these three warmongers, these three criminals, these three war criminals, these three folk who are guilty of crimes against humanity, we're going to wake up one day and they're going to be the ones ruling the world. Just
Mhm.
watch. That's where it's going. And I don't have nobody whispering in my ear to tell me. And I don't have a crystal ball.
Well, we do have foresight, especially as Black women. We have foresight. Nobody ever wants to listen to that stuff.
Well, go ahead, because if we had stood up as a people, if we had stood up and pushed back when Palestine was first being decimated, we may not be here today. And I don't remember. I'm gonna have to go back and look. What was Iran's position when Palestine was being decimated? Did Iran step in and say, "Hey, I got your back. I'm over here helping you to fight to win"? I don't think they did. Maybe they did, and I just don't remember it.
Well, I remember a lot of countries put out statements, but nobody. There was
Really
no
did
direct
anything?
action. Now, I do think I'd have to double check too. Remember when Yemen was stopping the
Mm-hmm.
boats, or they were
Mm-hmm.
trying to send them boats? I think Iran was helping them. I believe they
Okay.
were,
All
but
right.
I would have to double check. I have to double check.
Okay.
So that could be like another reason,
Because
added reason for them
mm-hmm.
being hit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And still, it's still, I want to rule the world. And who you gonna help? Who's gonna help us rule the world? Oh well, I got this one over here, because Putin and DJ 47 were friends. They're his DJ 47's Hollywood star from her $900 million documentary, and Putin's girlfriend and DJ 47's daughter, they all used to hang out together. And you're
Mhm.
going to convince me that there now is no love lost there? I refuse to believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. So those three cracker men are the ones who are going to be trying to rule the world. And we don't get anything from people like Hakeem Jeffries. We sure don't get anything from James Clyburn. He walking around trying to get everybody to buy his book.
Okay, here I did find it. This says that Iran provides significant military, financial, and political support to both the Houthi movement in Yemen and Palestinian militant groups like Hamas, or position as a regional resistance or something like that. So that was a AI overview that popped up, but I was pretty sure I heard something about Iran supporting Yemen during that
Good,
time. So
good,
that
good.
that was a
Unfortunately, Palestine can't do anything to help Iran. So it's strategic. It's not just whatever it is, Project 2025. It's strategic. They have been meeting when we were sleeping. They have been talking when we were in church. They have been strategizing when we were in the backyard trying to have a good time, little cookout and stuff. They were talking, and they have mapped this out. This didn't just happen arbitrarily. Venezuela gets taken down. It does not happen that Cuba has been basically brought to their knees. No food, no petrol. They've been all the sanctions against them That's for a reason. That's for a reason. And part of it is everybody says DJ 47 got a list of people he can't stand. Marco Rubio, he been mad carrying a grudge against Cuba since the first day he was able to say Cuba, probably. So seeing Cuba be brought down like that, I can only speculate. Maybe it makes him happy. Who knows? A lot of Cubans here in this country very, very angry about how they were treated decades ago. They can't let that stuff go. And Netanyahu, he just wants to rule the world. Who's to rule the world? They'll love each other up. So
We're in
that
trouble.
the three of them can. Hey, what happened with the Berlin? What happened with the Berlin Conference? 14 European countries got together and they took the map of the continent of Africa and they carved it up. I want this piece over here. Well, I want this piece over here. Well, I'm going to take this piece over here. They called it the African cake. It was like slicing a cake. So what do you think is going to happen? The same thing can happen with these three. Well, what part do you want? Well, I want this part. Well, I want this part, which is why DJ 47 is talking about the glitzy upscale resort that's going to be in the Gaza Strip. You ain't even gonna be able to go. Well, I wouldn't go there anyway. But for people who might want to go there, you're gonna have to have the $5 million gold card.
Yep. And speaking of that too, let me see. FIFA is involved with that as well. Let me see. Because I just recently saw where, okay, here it is right here. Is this it? Yeah. FIFA has decided to invest in some kind of football or some kind of, fields for training. Critics of the FIFA plan for Gaza accused Infantino of seeking to curry favor, or they say carry, but curry favor with Trump. So they're talking about building football fields, like something crazy. Let's see. FIFA collaboration plan includes building 50 mini pitches near schools and residential areas in Gaza, 5 full-size pitches across multiple districts, a state-of-the-art FIFA academy, and a new 20,000-seat national stadium. That's what FIFA is planning for Gaza. I'll post this link so you guys can read the full article if you want, but yeah, that's their plans.
So it's just me. They've been decimated. The hospitals are gone, schools are gone, the mosques are gone. They've been prevented from one of their prize crops are olive trees. When the olives are ripe, they go out and they pick the olives. And those people precluded them for the most part from being able to go harvest the olives. I'm confused. What is a $75 million investment in technically, I guess it's soccer fields, going to do when you have children who haven't been to school in 2 years, when you have people living in tents or sleeping on the ground, when you have mothers with babies or toddlers or whatever, who haven't had one pediatric check at all, or they opened up the space for them to go to Egypt for health care. But the last time I saw, there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them in line trying to get there. only 37 of them got through because they made it so difficult. The requirements were so stringent for them to go get health care that only 37 of them managed to get through to get health care.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see what's a $75 million investment in a sports initiative is going to do.
I mean, they've got all these, basically all of our lives, our existence is now on betting sites like Kalshi and what's the other betting, Poly Market. So every little thing about our existence is now up for a bet. Like betting everything,
Yeah,
every single thing.
but we're not the winners.
Of course not.
So you have a whatever it is, and the end game is that pot is $5 million strong, and it's about something about sports in Palestine. Just as an example, what percentage of that is going to go to Palestine? Probably El Zippo. So I don't see that Palestine is gaining anything from this $75 million investment. Is my point.
Nope. Well, we're actually living proof that nothing is to be gained, because all of our money goes to a certain other country health care. They get college, they get money for their kids till they're 18 years old, they get their housing. So we're a prime example of that as well. We don't benefit in any way, shape, or form.
Absolutely. None at all. We get nothing from it.
So on that note, I mean, it is up. You said that you wanted to bring up the Texas race. It is up to us to decide, how long some people want to remain blind, and I can't say the word comfortable, because nothing about this right now is comfortable for anybody. We can't afford groceries, we can't afford our medical care. JD Vance and Dr. Oz has just announced the cap on supplies for disabled people. So now cannot get crutches or beds or anything like that, prosthetics, wheelchairs.
Well, they can get them. DJ 47 just announced the Trump pharmacy. He can carry all that stuff.
Yeah, okay.
He can carry all that stuff.
I am not subscribing to Amazon Pharmacy, Trump Pharmacy. I'm actually not subscribing to any of that. So, nope. It's bad enough. I'm under United Health enough.
I'm gonna have to see just how successful Trump Pharmacy has been since he opened it up.
So give me a heads up or keep me up to date.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
You look pretty today with your earrings. Those earrings are so pretty.
So I did a Zoom, a 3-hour Zoom, talking about the 25th anniversary of the World Conference Against Racism in the Durban 400. The anniversary will be in August, and at some point I would like to talk a little bit more about the World Conference Against Racism. And that's where they actually were able to convince the folk who were there that slavery should be recognized as a crime against humanity.
Mm-hmm.
All of the power-wielding companies were there, and when they started talking about, such things as slavery and crimes against humanity, et cetera, Israel stood up and announced that it was a hostile atmosphere, and that they felt that it was that there was anti-Semitics being executed or extended against them, and they stood up to walk out, and the United States stood up and walked out with them. So as far as the United States is concerned, there is nothing on our books that says anything is a crime against humanity. In the international arena, crimes against humanity have no statute of limitations. And as the United States knows, if they ever came to a place where they were backed into a corner and they had to have legislation approved and signed into law about what became a crime against humanity, they definitely would be forced to come face to face with the 250 years of enslavement of our ancestors. And the other thing this country refuses to do is to acknowledge genocide as a crime. So every time it comes up for discussion, it is either tabled or it's voted down. So we talk about genocide in these other countries. We talk about crimes against humanity in these other countries. And guess what? The United States refuses to have those discussions.
They voted down food and water being a human right here in this country too. Only 2 countries voted it down. 2 countries voted it. Guess which?
Israel and the United States. Israel and the United States, I'm sure.
Yep, that's exactly who.
Yep.
And so the thing is like so people have questions about why won't the United States or Israel or anything like that. Well, there's mention of the Samsonite that Israel has threatened to use, and the United States, because they're so connected or entwined thing business wise and politics and all, that they don't want to be the first ones. Or you see what I'm saying? Like if somebody took a stand, maybe more would follow. But my opinion about the Samson option is because for one reason, these men up every morning to think about how they can give us grief. They get a kick and a thrill out of doing the Samson option. To me, I mean, I'm not an oracle like that. I don't think it'll happen. They will not push the button. They want to live to cause people grief. That gets them a thrill. So if they push the button, then it ends it for everybody, right? So that's why I don't feel that the Samson option will. Putin or Netanyahu will not push. Some people, I say, because some of us are tired of paying rent. And I'm joking, I'm sarcastic, but I'm just saying, realistically looking at them and how much of a bully they are, they will not push those. They feel like big fish, sharks. It's like we could bully everybody and get everything we want.
Yeah. I don't think they wake up trying to antagonize us. I think if we're really honest with ourselves, the things we deal with, racism, mass incarceration, oppression, systemic racism, I think those things are big business. Because if they were not big business, why would they continue to build more prisons, more jails? And why would they not always say, you build them, we'll fill them? It's the same people. The people who are building them are the people who sit on the bench and use their implicit bias and send mostly BIPOCs, people color, brown and black people, to jail and to prison. If there was no money in it, the prison systems are all mostly privatized. They can write whatever contract they want because it's going to be honored. Racism, if racism wasn't big business, there would be no racism because there would
That's
be
why I say
nothing to be gained from it.
they're not going to push it. That's part of the, you know, antagonizing a group of people. That gives them a threat from that. So if they push the button, everybody sees why I don't believe they'll push the button.
Well, they would push the button, but they scared. They're one, they're scared to die, and two, they want to live so that they can see just how much more devastation they can create.
Exactly.
And if they're dead, they can't see that. So there are a lot of petty reasons for them not to do it, but they all revolve around them.
That's it.
And
that's why they won't push the button.
That's right. And you know that there are a bunch of sick people. Anytime you have grown men who want to fondle, who want to sexually abuse children, they're a sick bunch of people. And I want to know where the parents were when these kids were being fondled and abused. I would like to know where the parents were.
There's so many too, because of course that's the first question most people ask. But from what I'm learning or have learned too, a lot of those system, you know, their parents were probably caught up in the system that, you know, they get put in prison, then their kids get taken away, and they don't have the money or the means, if they get out of to find the kids or fight to get them back, or, you know, so that's just like one little aspect. And then of course there's those parents that do know what's going on, and they're, you know, the ring too, because they got little different levels of that that class. So I mean, they probably groom their kids early, saying you know, what they tell you have to know how to cook, you have to know how to do this, you know, those type of parents. So it's like so much nuance around that. Epstein had he was connected, so he was on the board at Disney. So then there's places like that with kids. The kids show up kidnapped. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like so many layers of this evil. So it's like,
that is true.
I'm on the board of Disney. Yeah, I'm on the board of Disney, and I have access to all these kids. These parents are bringing all that son up, you know.
Or somebody does a fundraiser. We're doing a fundraiser to send some little poor black children from the Harlem ghetto of the past. Ain't no Harlem ghetto now, but the Harlem ghetto, and we're going to send them to Walt Disney for a week. What an amazing trip. They're going to have a wonderful time. We're going to feed them. We're going to put them up, and, you know, they don't have to worry about anything other than spending money, whatever it is they want to do with their spending money. And some of them don't get back home. Well, you know, we looked and we looked and we looked and we looked. We called the police. The police came in and nobody could find them.
And then this is insidious because Life Touch. Okay, Life Touch. When I was in my schools used Life Touch. I'm going to flip this around. Photos. They go into all of these schools around the United States to take school pictures for yearbooks and stuff. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
How school picture day got caught up in the Epstein files fallout. So
Mm-hmm.
Life Touch is connected to Epstein. So then that's like a menu to these
Mm-hmm.
people. So automatically get uploaded into a database, and these rich people to them. They go through these
I'm sure.
yearbook pictures and just, so it's like the stuff that's out, and then come to find out Ghislaine Maxwell's family was over the books that we were forced to learn in school in this country. I mean, it's bad enough. Like, I remember in my junior high school books, in the back of those books, or in my school books, that said the Daughters Confederacy. Okay, Ghislaine Maxwell's family, it was of the curriculum books in all of the schools all over the United States. That's how deep it goes. It's like a bottomless pit. And I'm laughing not because it's funny, because it's just shocking. That's my defense mechanism. My body is reacting. So if you see me laughing and have a comment, well, I'm not laughing because it's not funny. It's definitely not funny. It's because my nervous system is in shock, and that's a response. So I apologize if somebody thinks I'm laughing, thinking it's funny.
Well, I shouldn't think that. But again, the parents.
But these days, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It still comes back. It's like this is more perverse. But in Baltimore, a couple of years ago, there were some children who were, they were getting ready to have a graduation party, the whole 9 yards. Everybody was set to come up from down south and party because Junior was going to be getting his diploma and going off to college. And found out that Junior couldn't read beyond a 5th grade level. So the parents blame the schools because they said that's why they send their children to school. That's what their taxpayer dollars are for their children to be educated properly. But some of this has to fall on your shoulders and in your lap. You don't know that your child can't read. Have you never ever thought to ask your child to read a paragraph to you? To read the labels on a can or a bottle or a jar?
Mm-hmm.
So some of this, we have to take responsibility for.
Right.
So if Lane was out there messing with little girls, then she needs to stay wherever she is. That's first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
But then we also have to look at ourselves and say, what part did we play in this? What was our role?
A lot of that
And I
has
know
to
we
do
can
with
say,
the TV too, because of how TV groomed the masses as well. That's why I turned all that mess off. I don't watch anything produced in America.
Not just TV, but this time of the year, going into the library, everybody who would be outside is in the library. That's a safe space. It's a quasi shelter. And they go in and get a laptop, not a laptop, get a computer. Sign up and get a computer. And they sit and look at YouTube. So it's so many different things, that influence them. And they be sitting there, laughing, cheesing. It's something on YouTube.
Try to escape from the realities of what's going on, and yeah, it's just so the multifaceted conundrum we're in is the whoever started all of this, they made sure to get everybody so wound and entwined in this system. That's why we're having trouble, having people just snap out of it because of
That's true.
Their perceived comfort.
Mm-hmm. And again, here we are looking for our leaders. Where are the leaders? We don't have any leaders. We need somebody to lead us and tell us what to do.
And then in the meantime, what happens to those leaders? Because nobody protects them. If we had them, nobody really protects them.
Here's a good example. Jesse Jackson. I don't know what he did, and you know what? It's none of my business. But he had to go tell his wife someone was getting ready to have his baby. And everybody was up in arms, and Black people more than anybody else. It's so embarrassing. How could he do that to us? Hey, he didn't do nothing to me. I wasn't in that bed with him or wherever he did what he did. He's still the person who inspired many, 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 many thousands of people to say, I am somebody. And when he died, he was mourned internationally. Countries sent messages of bereavement and sympathy. So who cares what somebody did? As long as we have somebody who can, since we need that, somebody who can, lead us along. Same thing with Martin Luther King. Oh, he went out there, he messing with women. So Martin Luther King may not have even been thinking about some woman, but he's famous, and women want to, not just Black women want to be around somebody famous. They don't care that he left his wife and 4 children back in Atlanta somewhere. They don't care. And then you have the ones that are paid to do by any means necessary, whatever it takes, to get him in a compromised situation. All of the stuff that we keep having to come up against. Marcus Garvey. Black people did it to him too, because they were complaining about him trying to get everybody back to Africa, and they weren't Africans, and all kinds of things. And when they put him in prison, then Black people were like, oh, Lord, we didn't want him to go to prison. We just wanted you to shut him up. We have to define who we are and get on that side together and then fight the good fight. Uh-oh.
And on
so I got one thing I want to say.
Okay.
I just want to read this from Reverend Dr. Barber. He sums this up so well, his description of the State of the Union. From the rostrum of the U.S. House, the president will spin a tale of imagined success and demand that Mike Johnson and John Thune and anyone who wants to stay in his good graces go along with his truth. He will, as the prophet Jeremiah said in his day, proclaim peace when there was no peace. But a president who lies cannot tell us the State of the Union. Having abdicated his responsibility to tell the truth, Trump has forfeited any role his office might play in telling us who we are as a nation. If a State of the Union address is not possible in 2026, then its occasion begs the question of who America can trust to tell us where we are as a nation. That's a part of a really, really amazing article that Reverend Dr. William Barber wrote. And it's true.
And I
How
like
can a
Dr.
liar tell us the state of,
Barber.
yeah, how can a liar tell us what the real state of the union is? Because everything he said was a lie.
Not only that, he's a felon. He's a child assaulter. He is robbing us blind, not following any of the constitutional rules or decorum. He was supposed to. Well, you know what? And the SCOTUS, they're the reason for that, giving him immunity, blanket immunity, and him basically coming out saying,
Mm-hmm.
"Well, I'm going to do whatever I want to do."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, they have blame, but we still have to go back to Mike Johnson. He is a coward. He's a mealy mouth, oatmeal eating, sit on the fence coward. He does not stand up against DJ 47. John Thune,
Mm-hmm.
Speaker of the Senate, he does not stand up against DJ 47. DJ 47 is like a pack of elephants and hippopotamus racing through a china shop,
Mm-hmm.
breaking everything in its path. And who's going to jump in front of some elephants and some hippos and say, no, 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 be still, turn and go the other way? And that's the same thing with those two. But you got Chuck Schumer. Is he dead? Because I haven't heard anything from Chuck Schumer in like for forever.
Let
Dude's
me,
still around.
yeah, let me pull him up too while you're still talking, because he made his little, do nothing statement today on Iran.
And you got Hakeem Jeffries talking about we're going to go in the State of the Union message and we're going to sit there like zombies and we're not going to say anything. But then why are you going? There's no reason for you to be there. You might as well stay home. You might as well go to the local bar and have a beer or two.
So this is Schumer's statement on the strikes. That's his statement there. Let's see. When I talked to Rubio, I implored him to be straight with Congress and the American people about the objectives of blah 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 blah. Okay, blah blah. It's like he puts these strongly worded posts that don't mean anything because there's no action behind. On the other hand, I'm going to pull up Miss Jasmine Crockett's response. This is her response. Let's see here. This is what Miss Jasmine Crockett had to say. The self-proclaimed president of peace is once again starting illegal wars without congressional authorization. This is not what the American people asked for. Time and time again, Trump has proven that he is not interested in or capable of putting America first. Our soldiers will have to put lives on the line to defend his reckless decisions. Congress must pass a war powers resolution to rein in this dangerous overreach before more damage is done. Now, that's a statement.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one. Succinct also.
Mm-hmm. And to the point. Everybody can understand that. She didn't have to write a whole thesis or a novella. She just got to the point and is saying what we all think, do something. Schumer wants to add flowery words and not upset anybody. No, it's the time for that is over. Somebody needs to do something. The power and ability to do it. On that note, goes out with people having the power. Hopefully, people will stand up and do more withdrawing from the system. I'll put it that way. The word boycott or protest, people kind of tune out. Withdraw from the system as much as possible. I mean, that's all I could see or say for us to do, because going along with as business as usual is not working.
So if we withdraw, where are we going?
Well, I'm not saying like leave the country or anything like that. I'm just saying focus more on community and mutual aid. Unfortunately, we're in the system. We have to pay bills. We have to get groceries. We have to go to work. But just keep it at that and not do extra stuff like buy 50 fee tickets, or go to the movie theater, or you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I mean. Withdrawing, closing your wallet as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Because for me, my doctor's like, you need to lose 50 pounds. If I close my wallet, I bet you I can lose them 50 pounds real quick.
No, that's sad. That's sad. Don't say that. I've lost some weight too, just because I can't afford groceries. But that's okay. I mean, oh well, nothing we can do about it. But if you, on the other hand, out there listening, would like to support us in our programming, because we have to keep the virtual studio, I have to keep the platform to be able to make the thumbnails. Support us, become a VIP member, scan the QR codes here for Buy Me a Coffee. You can also go to our Cash App to scan those QR codes. All support is greatly appreciated. $3. If you have $3, all that adds up. So don't worry about, I don't have like real money. $2-3. That's appreciated as well. And you'll be helping us as a small creator stay on the air. So just scan on those QR codes that I just posted, and that will greatly help us keep us on the air if you like our content. So would you have some words to go out on, Miss?
So, no, I'm going to stand on Reverend Dr. Barbara's words.
And that's a great message for the end of Black History Month as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining.
It's also great to begin.
Yes.
Peace, positive vibrations.
Thank you.
And as Don Cornelius used to say, and soul.
Bye-bye.